Shawn Porter came out and stated that he cannot wait for Errol Spence, that he in shape, he been training, and that Errol Spence don't like him and can't stand the fact that Shawn Porter is a champion, and can't stand the fact that he's on TV, he interviewing Errol Spence, and he looking sharp every time he's doing it, even though a lot of people might disagree because a lot of people say that he need a stylist. But either way, the man is rocking it with confidence, and that's all it takes. But let's get straight to it. Shawn Porter had an interview on Fight Hype where he stated that he can't wait for the Errol Spence fight, that he amped up, and that he will dominate Errol Spence. And I must say, he said dominate. Now, I don't know what's going on, where all this confidence came from, but hopefully it's not false confidence like Mikey Garcia had, which he also stated that I'm not trying to be on no Mikey Garcia type of energy where it's fake confident or I'm full of myself, but I just believe in myself and I know I could beat Errol Spence and dominate him. Which you could agree or not, but that's how fighters should feel before the fight. But I'm just saying we were all this confident before, you know what I'm saying? Keep the same energy, don't flip, you know. And I feel like Shawn Porter in the past, ever since Errol Spence beat Kell Brook, the guy who defeated Shawn Porter, and then Shawn Porter wanted the Kell Brook rematch so bad, as soon as Errol Spence won the belt, then he no longer was interested in the belt. And Errol Spence at the time was screaming out free smoke. And nobody really wanted to smoke. It was just too foggy at the time. But things have cleared up ever since Errol Spence gained a huge audience and a lot of fans from people ducking him from his style, being entertaining, and wanting to fight the best at all costs. So it got him to where he's at today, where he's fighting in front of 47,000 people, selling almost 400,000 pay-per-views on Showtime. And now the table have turned where Errol Spence is the biggest star at 147, and now he the big money fight, even though on top of that he the huge risk as well, but now the risk is worth the reward. Now Shawn Porter went from saying I'm not interested in an Errol Spence fight, he's not in my tunnel vision, even though, like I said, Errol Spence was the biggest star even 2 fights ago. And when Shawn Porter was finna fight Danny Garcia, he was talking about, I wanted the Keith Thurman fight. That's when I've been focusing on. I don't want the Errol Spence fight at the moment. And you could tell, obviously, Shawn Porter didn't want the fight at the time because he felt like it was just too risky and it's not worth it. Obviously, it's not worth the ass whooping. That's how I took it. But to each your own. However, now he wants to fight. Now the fight most likely happened next, because first time Shawn Porter said the fight will be next after the Danny Garcia victory. It didn't happen next. He fought Ugas, and he almost got upset. Me personally, I thought Ugas pulled that victory. But either way, it was a close fight, but I just felt like Ugas controlled him. He was landing the better punches, he had the better defense, and he did enough to win in my opinion. Now Ugas lost the fight, Shawn Porter got the victory, so be it. Now Errol Spence looked like it's finna be next, so let's focus on that. Shawn Porter is saying that Errol Spence don't like him and don't like to see him on TV, and he don't like the fact that Shawn Porter's a champion right now. It's all just rubbish to me, because at the end of the day, you got something that Errol Spence wants, which is a belt, and it's strap season, so Errol Spence want that belt. If you didn't have the belt, I doubt he even want to fight you at this point. So just like he want to fight Keith Thurman, just like he want to fight Shawn Porter, just like he want to fight Crawford, you just one of those guys that got a strap. And because you don't have a fight next, he doesn't have a fight next, obviously you next, and he want that smoke. And since you've been ducking him for the longest, he just feel like it's funny now that he's the money man. Now you taking the fight, so he really probably want to punish Shawn Porter, you know. So we're not gonna get to the personal business between them two, where Shawn Porter offered him his phone number, try to play basketball with Errol Spence and stuff like that, trying to be friendly. We're not gonna get to all that, but You get the picture. You can paint a picture for yourself. Now, can Shawn Porter dominate Errol Spence? In any scenario, can you picture that? I can't, because Shawn Porter just came off the Ugas fight, and like I said, where I personally thought he lost. Ugas boxed him from the outside, even from the inside, he outworked him, or he just was landing the better punches and had better defense. So seeing that and seeing Errol Spence coming off the Mikey Garcia fight where he was just too accurate, threw like 1,000 punches. Mikey Garcia, the reason he couldn't knock him out is because Mikey was there to survive. He didn't throw no punches past the 4th and 5th round. He was just covering it up. So how can you knock somebody who's just there to survive? If he wanted to win, he would have definitely got knocked out. Now, Errol Spence showed a different arsenal in his game, and we haven't seen that from Shawn Porter. They talking about he could show us another level, but he almost lost his last fight, and he didn't show us that level. So I don't know how he's going to show that versus Errol Spence. But the fact that Shawn Porter likes to rush in, fighting from the outside, I just see Errol Spence controlling him with his jab, and whenever he comes in, pop him with a counter, and then even in the inside, Errol Spence ain't finna hold. He finna do damage to the body and to the head. So Errol Spence is very great at positioning himself and his head in the inside and creating space to punch and not letting your opponent smother you. You saw how Kell Brook was smothering Shawn Porter punches, and Shawn Porter will smother his own punches while he throwing because he don't want to get hit in return. So obviously he's doing that on purpose. But Errol Spence, when he fought Kell Brook, when Kell Brook wanted to tie up, he still created distance to land punches in the inside, and that obviously did the damage where he was able to stop Kell Brook in the later rounds. So that's credit to Errol Spence. Little things like that you don't see. Flashy stuff like fighting from the outside, reflexes, etc. You see that. But veteran moves and stuff like that where fighters fight in the inside and do things that is hard for the casual fans to see. It's not for everyone to see. It ain't for the naked eye to see. It's for people who knows boxing and been there, possibly even boxed before they could see little things like that. Errol Spence does a lot of that, so it's going to be a tough task for Shawn Porter to even maintain in the fight, let alone winning the fight, let alone dominating the fight. So to each his own. Obviously, Shawn Porter got to come in with that mindset, but it's hard to believe, especially after how everything went about leading up to the fight. How Shawn Porter, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia just been talking down on Errol Spence ever since the come up. Not because they didn't like him, not because they didn't think he was a great fighter, just because they didn't want to fight him. So they have to talk down on him, because if they talk good about him and saying he's this and that, then fans gonna say, oh, okay, we'll fight him next. But he gotta talk down on him to give a pre-excuse to why he ain't gonna be fighting him next. And that's just what it is. But hopefully the fight will be announced pretty soon. The fight was already kind of supposed to be announced for July, if I'm not mistaken, but because of the Keith Thurman versus Pacquiao fight and Danny Garcia versus Mikey possibly taking place around that time, now they pushed the fight back because either they want to put it on pay-per-view or regular TV. They haven't decided yet, depending on what the purse is going to be, but we'll see. Peace, and we outie.